It's Solomon Kimbugwe, and you are welcome to the newest episode of A Moment with Caesar, a show where we get to talk to seasoned men that are shaping the tax industry in Uganda. And this morning we do have the privilege of hosting the one and only Emmanuel Bichetero, who's the Assistant Commissioner Programs at the Tax Academy here in Uganda Revenue Authority. And without wasting any minutes, please allow me to invite him on set so that he's able to say his hellos. Then we shall take a plunge into his world. Mr. Emmanuel, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Solomon.
You can greet the viewers.
Morning, viewers. I'm glad to be here talking to you on issues concerning Caesar.
Thank you so much for that. Had this been a secondary school, obviously that would make you a director of studies. Had this been a university, I think you would be a dean. But we are at URA, and of course you are the Assistant Commissioner Programs within the Tax Academy. The very first question, very first piece of business is, what is the significance of this role, and exactly what then becomes expected of you as the person who is in charge of programs here at the Academy?
Thank you so much. I think the significance of this is that our tagline, Tax Academy, is shaping tax professionals. That means giving them the necessary skills and competencies to do the job of tax administration effectively, efficiently, and professionally. It tags in with the URA's value of professionalism, because we believe once you are trained, you are equipped with the knowledge to do what Caesar does best. Then when the services you offer to clients will be done with passion, and people will be happy to pay their tax needs voluntarily. So in effect, it improves the significance of this role is that it helps ultimately compliance. That's what
Yes. That's compliance, the bottom line.
Well, as I mentioned, you need the skills to do the work, of tax administration. So the job equips skills at the moment internally, and the necessary skills to conduct tax-related administration activities for this land. Later, maybe I'll talk about some of these programs, right? And then,
Fantastic. We are going to take a plunge into the programs, but in just a little while. Before we do, please allow me to ask a rather personal question. Who is Emmanuel Bichetero, the man? Before we got on set, you were talking about the joy that you derive every time you Palm United. But who is Emmanuel Bichetero?
Okay. Emmanuel Bichetero is a professional accountant, first of all. He's a man who has more than 20 years tax administration. That view has allowed me to look at taxes, URA, generally tax administration. And it's a high budget. I talk about all the areas tax administration is not, particularly for URA, but even outside URA. And I will come to say still in those areas. I am very glad for you. For 1 month.
Who's the thing?
Who's the people? We've been married for 12 years. This is who I am.
Fantastic. You talked about 20 years at URA. Tell us a bit about the journey. Has it been, because the academy is new?
True. Well, I joined URA more than 20 years ago. I joined customs officer, where I worked for 1 year. when I went to do internal audit, audited all the operational areas of URA. That's why I was telling you that gives me a line back to readiness. But probably the aspect that's academic that we need to train staff in our investigation in our year. That's like much knowledge to the new staff that we need that skill.
Fantastic. We are going to now go back to the programs because you have hinted on them, and I think you have clearly indicated that at the moment the focus is on the internal URA community. What are some of these programs?
Okay. When you look at URA, right now we have around 10 departments. That means those are 10 areas testing. The core ones, which is the tax collection, we have customs, so we have programs with customs, we have listed taxes, we have programs with listed taxes, we have tax investigations, we have programs for them, and other support areas. I wouldn't say they are support, but they are also critical. URA, we also overcame that aspect, like risk management, whether professional accounting, staff, we sponsor them for those activities that will make them professional, not only in URA, but general, business.
That's amazing. I'm going to take you back a bit because when you were mentioning about the programs for the very first time, you said the phrase at the moment we are focusing on the internal people. Are you prospecting to also extend the services of the academy to the external stakeholders in the tax industry?
Well, incidentally, even for the external one, we already offer trainings to whether the customs agents, but we plan in the future, maybe in the next 12 months, so offer training not only in customs, but in the domestic tax agents. If I was to bring big, I would say probably to offer training anybody who is interested in knowing aspects of tax administration. Because ultimately, if the population knows their obligations, their rights, that's taxes, then they can't do it. But you cannot stop it, raise their revenue. So, was dream big, say yes, the next maybe 12, 3, 4 years, we should be in a position to offer anybody who wants knowledge of tax administration, of how taxes that they work. Maybe we can test whether they have those competencies because of the trainings and the facilities we have here.
Fantastic. This is a question that is probably targeting a young graduate or a person who is intending to go to school. What would a person like that need to put in place or to have in place to prime themselves up for a career as a taxman?
We are in another age, age. Talk about the national revolution, we're in another age. That person, if they want to be tax professionals, what they have to do is have access to the internet. They can study our courses. There are phones that they travel in the bus and they where there is a young, that they gain the necessary knowledge. That is for the future. Now, but yes, we see that happening. Because the aspect of having a brick and mortar in place, in doing over time, the technology of how people should be able to do the courses of URL files. Really, when they are sitting in the window in the UK or in the US, they can really come back here and learn. So, whatever happens,
Mr. Bichetero, that is quite ambitious. And I'm persuaded to ask a question of whether the academy is already putting foundations in place to be able to offer students learning opportunities in an arrangement that is not confined to a specific location.
Number one, the specific location is very important. There are those cases, instances where you actually need it, and the students come. But you are a general, and those who will be targeted outside URA may not be in a position to be in the classroom environment at the same time. I'll just give a simple example. Please, you have a student at Princeton University doing a bachelor's degree in marine biology. He's in the classroom, or she's in the classroom, but you can also have a Uganda here doing the same course at the same time, and they graduate at the same time because technology has made learning easy. So yes, we will have people who will be in the classroom, and we have programs. We have a plan in place to deal with the tax academy, physical tax academy. But yes, we also have a plan for virtual academy, which we must reverse before the end of this position. And yes, we have started laying the groundwork. I may use the same one for RICS, the foundation, have that virtual academy. At that moment, when it is fully functional, people will probably more self-based learning. But as it is now, thanks to the support we have from you guys, I think we are already in the process of being virtual academy. We have classes that we are conducting online, the studio environment where the lecturer or the teacher will train accountants and teachers. Somebody is seated in cover and he studied. And when it's time for exam, he goes the bus, comes and sits in his body. So yes, the foundations are there, and the future is bright. The future is bright.
The future is bright, and you've already hinted on it, but if you may allow me to ask you to really speak about where you see the academy 10 years from now. It's okay to dream. And in fact, when you dream on air, it ceases to be a dream. It becomes a plan.
Okay.
That people can look back to and say, when Emma was on the moment with Caesar, he said this, and then we're able to see things coming into reality.
Okay. In 10 years' time, 10 years is a long time. In 5 years' time, I will see, I see, I envision, I actually believe that in the next few years, not up to 10 years, not really, that we'll have a physical academy, a building that is living the air, the people can say, oh, that is where I start and I see that. I also see, or I believe, I envision that in the next 1-2 years, the aspect of learning will be made easier. You will have those who will call in the classroom, you will have those who will study online, you will have those who will do self-paced learning within a certain time, which most when they enroll. I envision a scenario where we will have trained taxi, sport customs and domestic taxis. I envision a scenario where our trainers will be sold for. They will be on high demand, not only in Uganda, but outside Uganda. I envision this situation where, because of the tax academy, all the URA staff will be trained in the specific area under which they are responsible. I was looking at the statistics, and you will be amazed that majority of URA staff are looking at trained in all aspects of tax administration. So I envision a situation where all of the URA staff will have been trained. I envision this situation where when the tax academy is in place, that for you to be brought on board, possibly you must have done a certain under tax administration for those who are aspiring to be tax administrators. I can go and home, but for now, let me talk about free English.
Fantastic. They said dreaming is free, so I mean, if we have all the time, but maybe if you can allow me, when you were speaking there, and I was also taken back to one of the earlier statements that you made. You refer to yourself as a man with a bird's eye view in anything tax, packed in 20 years of experience of doing this work. And it hit me that if a guy like you, for instance, left the organization and went to the UN, Geneva, you are would be losing a critical resource. Now, does the academy have systems in place or an intervention in place to ensure that the organization does not experience what we call experiential hemorrhage, like we us losing people who are high value, deeply technical, and they are going to places without leaving this knowledge behind.
Yes, we have the program in that place, and we have vision actually. That's actually mainly dealing with knowledge plan. Basically, it's how you acquire this knowledge, how you store it for the future, how you make sure that those who come later can train. So we have a program in place. There is usual practices. You will be called with these experts. You will come in and share their knowledge. But even then, we have plan in place. Those who are leading the organization, they should fight as much as possible to extract that knowledge. But even beyond that, we know that here we are busy. At the moment, we are using internal staff frameworks. Those who are paid. But we also know that there are those who are paid. So we have a plan in place where we probably have Solomon, who is now with the IMF in the DC, come and teach our staff some of these aspects. That will also depend on us for the position. And I don't want to be a bit scared, but in the future, we envisage a situation where the trainers, like we are doing now, they are recorded as a training. And, that recorded training be used by another class. For instance, right now we have 2 cohorts of impact happening. The first cohort was recorded in the studio. We can use that report to train with that cohort. For instance, if we talk about self-risk. So in that instance, then we don't have all this trainer. We probably may have left, but like that knowledge that he left behind. Moving back trainings.
Sounds like you've already thought ahead of time,
Yeah.
and you're making interventions to make sure that we stay on all around. This is probably the very last question that I would like to run by you, and it is a 2-in-1. The first of this 2-in-1 question is, I know this is to staff who are watching because I know you're a staff at training. How can someone join the academy? From the perspective of offering, but because I know there's so many knowledgeable tax officers out there that would like to share their knowledge with the bigger, team of tax collectors. What are the steps we need to take to get themselves into a position where they can then be useful to the academy?
2-in-1, number 1.
The second one is on support. What kind of support would you need to actualize this very ambitious dream that you've actually rooted on?
For those who want to join the tax academy, there are two ways. Number one, you have to first of all be employed in the tax academy. The tax academy has many areas. Right now, I think we're not even, if you take away the short term employees in 12 months, we're not even 30% staff. So that's the first aspect you can join and help with the tax academy. But you can still be outside the tax academy and help. As I have already mentioned, we use trainers that can use more tax academy. And I must say, I'm thankful that URA has trainers who are willing to share knowledge they have and stuff. So we have trainers they're interested in helping the tax academy or joining the tax academy one. Then you can become a trainer. Recently we run an advert for trainers. Shortlisted the trainers, taken them throughout training of trainers, because the URA or the master adults, the way you teach adults, not the same way you teach primary, secondary, even university students. So you can join when you are still doing work outside the tax academy, like coming at the paso of the trainer. And we have good dreams for the trainers. As I have already mentioned, we plan for them to get certified as trainers and comfortably working and teaching South Africa. Frequently, even here on tax related issues, but even any other area like interested in or you have knowledge on, you continue offering skills. So it's a bright future. Those who wish to be there.
100%. Then on the issue of support?
On the issue of support, I think we've just crossed the 100 days. Maybe 8 days, 120 days. As the tax academy, the support you need is when the tax academy was well established. I realized one thing: partnerships. Right. Internally, that support needs to continue. Important. For internal one, the aspects of collaboration and support. We already have plans in place. We have already set up plans in motion. We have identified a number of investments, and they are very, very many. But that's so that is another aspect. Partnership that we expect to continue. That support needs to come through. Of course, the question about the Fiscal Academy, you need the finances to do the Fiscal Academy. You know, I've mentioned that the future education is not going to become stone, but you still need a certain field where teach where you can do that. Take exams where offices. So the aspect of financing also becomes very. Of course, anything. That's what the dream is the new ambition. We are planning to have a spring plan for the academy. Need all, not only those in the tax academy, but outside the tax academy. You know, rather putting bring their thoughts on board, second that you take everything on board. Two heads are always better than one. So when the inside goes within, goes outside the academy, goes outside URI, I expect help us with big dream. So that's the support I expect. Once it is there, we are okay. Collaborations, partnerships, financing, leadership support.
And that brings us to the very last question. This one is light, this one is personal. What team do you support? Of course, here locally, it's your before.
Yes, that's why I hesitated. But before you are here, I used support us. I used support to be so. But now it's not. I told them that. So I support you.
That makes it the two of us. Jogo And now you are in globally.
Globally, I am Ghana.
Again, I salute. May the God of Ateta continue to bless you. And hopefully, next weekend, we get to do something really damaging to the other team.
Yeah, true. We shall be.
We shall be.
There is no question.
It's been a pleasure hosting you. I'm looking forward to more of these engagements. To all of you who were tuned in for this episode of A Moment with Caesar, we do thank you for making the time. And of course, we shall continue having these conversations with these seasoned individuals who are shaping the tax landscape in Uganda. From all of us at URA TV to all of you, from yours.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.